Hi, Kishan. Thanks very much for taking the time to join me today. You're in charge at IDS of the iOS team, the Android team, and the QA team. Like I say, thanks for taking the time to join me.
Thanks, Rick.
Pleasure having you. Right,
Yeah.
we wanted to talk today briefly, about a few things, so I'll get right onto it. Firstly, we mentioned technical debt when we talk a lot. How do you define technical debt within the confines of mobile architecture?
So I think technical debt is accumulated cost making short-term engineering decisions. And we generally not talk about these contexts. And this leads to a big problem at business side. And the, it's really about it's it's really about the business because when we are dealing with the technical debt, so we feel that if we need to improve any of the feature, we need to add any of the context in the application. Then what happen? We need to code more and more. We need to check every situation and every corner of the application. That's cost business. So this is very dangerous for any business if we are keeping any technical debts inside any application, whether it's Android, whether it's iOS, or whether it's a web application.
Interesting. Another thing we've touched on before, at what point does a mobile app become a real operational problem for a business?
Yeah, so if I see through example, let's suppose at initial level, we've started an application and the architecture is not well and good, right? So we are keeping all those features and we are adding multiple features based on our use cases from the business. And at some point, we are seeing, yeah, there are lots of technical issues we are facing and we are not able to solve it. Obviously, this will be risky for business. The architecture is not well designed, right? And we are not doing any refactor or any rewrite of the code. That's why it's going messy and messy. And in some cases, it's comes like uh, any engineers doesn't want to touch the code because if they touch the code, they need to ensure every part of the application, and that will cost more and that will take time. So if a business wants to release a feature instantly, he will not able to do that. So this is a big dangerous problem for a business.
And on the topic of technical debt, what hidden costs do companies usually underestimate when technical debt accumulates?
Yeah, so normally companies focus on the bugs and they try to just complete a feature in the application and they don't focus on a specific particular problems in the application. So this go and go on at a point they find that yeah, this is very difficult to complete a feature in the application. So what happened if they want to release a features that is very important for users, right? And that is very important and critical for their business. They will not able to do that because that will take more time because their technical debt is increasing day by day, and that's what they will go very slow, and that is not good for their marketing purpose. That is not good for their business and revenue. So that's a big problem for a business or for any application. So we need to take care technical debt in very important manner so that we need to schedule and we need to do refactor or rewrite the code in very sequential manner so that we do know that yeah, there is no technical debt and there is no complexity in the code and we are good to go at every time.
It sounds then that almost the development velocity becomes affected by accumulated technical debt. Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, so obviously the velocity will be slow because we know that there is a feature that has requested from business and engineer is going into the application, try to understand what are the codes and how we can make the changes. But he is seeing lots of disconnect in the mechanism, in the architecture, where he finds very difficult to develop that feature. And obviously, everything's possible in the technology. So he will try to develop it. But yeah, uh, whether that feature will be 100% okay or not okay. So this will depend on the situation and circumstances of the application. So that's what obviously, if we do not take care about the technical depths in any of the application, whether it's a mobile application, whether it's a web application, we will face some challenges, and obviously the velocity will be slow.
So if the technical debt becomes, well, if it accumulates to such an extent that it becomes prohibitive, I assume the user or indeed the business is forced to do a complete rewrite. Have you seen this full rewrite fail before? Is it the best way of doing things?
No, so in my experience, what we felt is uh, the rewrite is not for all those businesses and all those contexts. It is completely based on the circumstances. Let's suppose we normally recommend and will try to do a refactor rather than rewrite. Because in some cases, if we'll go rewrite, obviously we need to build everything from scratch, and we need to define all the mechanism and all the architecture from scratch. And this will take time, right? So we always suggest to all the businesses that we are dealing with, right? So we say, yeah, let's schedule a refactor rather than rewrite in a time period. So let's suppose we are doing releases every month, or based on the requirement for the business. So we'll say, let's do a refactor uh, for every year, so that our application, all those code bases will be at the standard level, and nothing will go wrong beyond the boundaries. So if we'll do refactors regularly, we'll get to know that, yeah, our application and code base is very good in all terms, and we can do any features, we can add any features at any point, and that will be useful for business, and that will be a good perspective to do any revenue based features in the application.